Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. I thought it would be fun to do a little weekend in my life because we actually have a lot of fun plans, it seems. It's currently Friday at like 9 a.m. Just got done with my 2 morning clients. I have a small 10-minute break before having to hop into my next group of 3. Then we'll have a little lunch break. So I'm really praying that the weather holds out. We've had a lot of rain these last couple days. We had tornadoes a couple weeks prior to that, as you guys heard. It's just been crazy here in Kentucky, and I'm very much looking forward to a nice, beautiful, proper spring. The weather has finally been cohesive enough for us to actually go out to the property and finally work on my stage 1 of the flower farm. Granted, at this point in time, you guys now know that we're not currently building. We're basically in no man's land as far as what our plans are. So I don't know what that's gonna look like. I don't even know if we'll have proper water out there for now. So what we might do is either A, just try to use the creek as much as possible as long as it's there throughout the season, and or B, we might just start hauling water out there in the back of our car as a way to water the fields should we not get rain that week. But we are finally planting hopefully stage 1 of the flower field. But with that being said, I had plans and I'll show this to you guys later, but I think we're gonna have to modify them to be a little bit smaller since we won't have the water ran out all the way on the property. All right, guys, it is now Saturday afternoon. We ended up not going out to dinner. We just had a small little family gathering at my grandparents' house for my aunt's birthday. Everyone has had a very rough day at work, it seems, so it worked out for the best. And I had a whole load of clients this morning. So truly all I did was wake up, look up those clients, try to get my morning cup of coffee, got the plants watered, and then up until about right now, I've been working. So we are currently heading out to this farm show to go, one, see if we can maybe win any of the raffles, whether it be for like maybe a 0 turn is the biggest raffle. Other options include like, I think there was a chainsaw and some other stuff. So that's where we're currently heading to. We're running a little bit behind, so we gotta get going. But we're gonna go hopefully there, see what they have to offer. Father-in-law wants to show us his 4x4 that he bought and other options that are currently available. So see you there.
It's nice it comes with power forks and handlebars.
And the creek we go. As you guys can see, we are back out on the farm once again. This time we are actually making progress, hopefully I say, because we are marking out the boundaries of our flower farm just to get an idea of what the size and scale would look like for the rows that we are trying to create. And of course, we had to bring the boys with us. It's truly their favorite place on earth, I think, at this point, and they've only gotten to go a small handful of times, unfortunately. Even though it was absolutely freezing this day, I would say, I think it was maybe about 50 so degrees, so that water probably felt a lot colder than that even to them. They could not get themselves to stay out of it. It's truly their favorite things between the ponds and the creeks. They are living their ultimate dog life, and it's hope and pray they get to spend as much as possible of their lives out on this property because they're just so joyful. But back to the point at hand anyways. While I was busy marking out the edges of the flower farm, they were of course playing around. So right now we are looking about doing 10 100-foot rows with about 3 feet in between them. So currently I'm just marking that off to, one, make sure I know what that space looks like on our property, and 2, make sure we have enough fencing to go around it based on that sizing. So right now we are hoping to hopefully get to tilling here in the next week or 2, assuming that we actually have driveway access up onto our little hill here.
How many twirls are you doing?
A lot. Someone over here is a little cow. Hey, somebody's eating grass over here. Oh, bear took it. What did he steal? Oh.
Oh, good job. Good job.
You okay? I know, and he had to go in it. Well, we finally made it to Sunday, and we're back at the property. So as you guys know, every time I say something's gonna happen, inevitably it doesn't, whether that turns out to be building or even just weekend activities. So Obviously, we had some alterations with Jenny's plans, and now we had alterations with what we were doing with friends last night to some degree. We also, because our culvert is now washed out, we have no way to get across into our property back here. And because we're no longer building, I don't want to put our flower farm down by the road where there is more of a high potential for people to A, possibly think it's open to the public and come cut themselves, and B, at least here I do have some form of water access, even if I have to haul it up into where I think we're going to put the flower farm. So if you can see some of those little pink flags right there, I'm going to put the flower farm on the back side of our pond for the time being. It gets good sun there, and it's a little bit more secluded. Plus I can tie into the posts that we already have to make at least the cost of fencing around it a little bit cheaper, hopefully. So that is currently my plan. We also came out here and marked off the possibility of us doing like a barndominium situation again, and or in this case more specifically, we are thinking about doing a 2-story 2-car garage with the downstairs, of course, being the garage, currently being a living quarters that will host the kitchen, maybe a laundry setup, and then a living room area. But everything is, of course, up for debate, and we have no idea what we're doing because everything keeps changing. So I'll try my best to keep you guys updated. It seems like next weekend we should have access, or road access, via the culverts to get up to our property. So I think next weekend we're going to go ahead and till up the ground. I did initially have the plans of doing the no-till method, getting a tarp, and just doing it that way, but with the tornadoes and the terrible weather that we've had here in Kentucky, that is just not a possibility. So next weekend we are hopefully tilling this up and starting, I guess, the first couple rows of the phase 1 of the flower farm. So take you guys along for that. Now I'll try to keep you guys updated as to what we end up doing with the flower farm, and honestly just the living situations in the farm as a whole. So see you at some point in the near future.